Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo, people. Welcome to Premier League Unfiltered. That's a new show. We'll be on Friday at this time with a brilliant panel with you, with Neil and Mark from the Frenemies podcast, of course, and Arsenal and a Chelsea show doing a channel together is absolutely amazing and fantastic. We got a football story, Mr. Jamie Story, of course, from his channel, of course. Check out his new video on Thursdays, every Thursday at 7:30, of course. You got an Arsenal fan in there or the Liverpool fan?
No, he's a Liverpool fan. He's Liverpool. He goes to all the games. He's a Scouser.
He's a Scouser and he goes to all the games. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
He's a good lad.
And we got a true City fan. I watched some of it. A true City fan, Kelk, of course, is here talking all things Prem. Jim couldn't join us. Spurs, of course, he couldn't join us today, but he will be here next Friday. Hit that like button, guys, if you guys are here. Let's get the likes up if you guys are here. And we're talking about, of course, Chelsea versus Arsenal. And Cole Palmer is back. Liverpool must get back on track. Arne Slot is still at the job. He gets another week. Another 2-3 games to actually get his team back on track. And our City out of the title race. Is that what we're talking about? Of course. How's everyone doing? You're all right? You're ready?
Very good, mate.
You're ready, Jamie, for this?
No, I'm not ready for another heartbreak. I genuinely think we could, like, it's not genuinely. We could definitely lose. I mean, we're playing.
You're away at West Ham, right?
Yeah, we're playing exactly the team that we don't want to play. But I think I was on Sky this morning and I was saying, like, we have the easiest run of fixtures up until Christmas, and then then I was like, realistically, every game we play right now is just impossible. It's like almost like we've forgotten how to play football. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think we actually should.
Nuno West Ham. That's not a gimme anymore because they were awful before. But Nuno, he might, every game by game, he's getting them more into that like defensive mode, and that's not fun to play against, especially when you're struggling.
Let's start with Liverpool. Actually, the criticism of players have actually risen lately, apart from the manager. I actually think it's warranted that the players should be criticized, the likes of Salah and Van Dijk and these guys. It's not only on Arne Slot. Arne Slot doesn't tell Konate to do what he did in the game. Arne Slot doesn't tell Van Dijk to play volleyball. As Jamie said, and I watched your Instagram, it's literally volleyball. Like he's just, I don't know if he's trying to actually get Arne Slot sacked. It's just kind of like strange.
No, he's not trying to get him sacked. He's not trying to get him sacked. I honestly, I think there comes to a certain point where like 9 losses in 12 games. You can't blame a manager from that. I'm sorry. You can't, it can't be solely down to the manager. And I think we get into this situation where obviously we need to change something. And the only thing that you can do in the middle of a season is change a manager. But 9 losses in 12 games, 6 losses in the Premier League out of 12. Like the players have to take some of the responsibility, some of the blame. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why you're kind of looking at it now where it gets to a stage where you can't actually blame the manager. Yes, he maybe is a little bit naive in some of the things and maybe he needs to change some things. But at the end of the day, like the players need to take responsibility and they need to take responsibility on the pitch. I'm sick of all this stuff saying that they need to come out in the media and talk to the media and say like what's going wrong, this and that. Like I don't care about players talking in the media. Just go out and perform. That's all I care about. And that's all Liverpool fans should care about. Not about what they say after a match, after getting hammered at home. Like that doesn't matter.
So you don't think Salah should speak in the media as a senior player?
No. Like he should come out and speak if he's asked or if he wants to come out and speak, but like he doesn't need to. Like Van Dijk would have that responsibility. Andy Robertson, as vice captain, would have that responsibility, but it's not his responsibility to come out and talk to the media. I want to see Salah scoring goals. I don't want to see him talking to the media. That's not what I care about.
But you gotta speak to the fans. These are the fans that actually support you. They go to the games. You gotta go and say something. I don't think, to be honest with you, like I thought about it yesterday, and I actually think the club didn't make him captain. By the way, he's the most senior player in this team. He has joined before Van Dijk. He has joined before everyone, right?
No, Joe Gomez is the most senior player.
Oh God.
No, I thought even Joe Gomez was introduced to the team after Salah joined.
No, Joe Gomez is the longest.
He has been at the
11
club.
years.
But it's not only about being a youngster. Like Salah is the guy that has been there for a while, and I think he should speak to the manager.
No, I don't know. I think it's one of them. Like last season, he got criticised for talking about it when they were discussing his contract and he was scoring goals. At the end of the day, the reason we're talking about this is because we're not seeing it on the football pitch. If he goes back, he starts scoring goals. Nobody cares about all this, and we shouldn't care about it now. He needs to start performing, start putting in performances that we know he is capable of, and then all this.
Capable of it though, is he?
Sideline.
There's a lot of talk about, you know what, you need to drop Mo Salah. Would you drop Mo Salah?
Yeah, well, that's another question as well. I think he's actually going to be taken out of his hands with AFCON coming up. And he's going to be able to maybe tinker with the team without actually the what would you say, the negativity around dropping Mohamed Salah, because obviously he's a player that's just scored what they get 57 goal contributions last season. Like I know it's a completely different season, but at the end of the day, I want to see players in the team that are performing well. And right now, if Salah at the age that he's at, he's not going to be able to press. He's not going to be able to do the defensive duties that we need when you're struggling. And I think maybe taking him out of the team and giving someone else a go on that right side might be an option. But I think he's going to eventually have to do that anyway with him going to AFCON. So
who's going to play on the right?
Yeah, I was
he is this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be.
He's just one guy that does deserve his chance. But yeah, go on, Jamie.
Yeah, Chiesa potentially. I think similar to how we maybe played against Frankfurt is what a lot of people are asking for, with Ekitike and Isak, and they could maybe rotate between the two. Gakpo could maybe drop back a little bit deeper because he does provide a lot of width. But I don't know. It's kind of one of them. So we don't really have a right-sided winger right now. That's why Semenyo is being talked about, who can potentially play there. But yeah, I think I'd like to say Isak and Ekitike giving a run together, just because I think they both have quality. They're both a bit younger. They're both bringing a fresh new energy. And I think that would be the right thing to do. But
You're going to have the same problems if you play both of them. I think one of the problems at Liverpool is that they went away from the actual ethics of like playing in the Premier League or football. Like you have 4 players that are not involved in the defensive aspect of the game completely. Most of the time when the press gets bypassed, I see 4 players not involved, right? And that's with Wirtz playing. With Wirtz not playing, there's 3 players that don't go back. Gakpo doesn't go back. Isak doesn't go back. Ekitike doesn't go back. Salah doesn't go back. And your midfield is not helping. Your midfield is not helping.
I actually don't think it's the going back issue, Mo. I actually think it's like Liverpool had to change how they played football. They had to, because with losing Trent, we needed to bring in someone that was going to be a creative outlet, and that was Wirtz. He obviously hasn't performed this season. But the issue, I agree with you, is Liverpool, they're not a pressing machine in the same way that they were. And I think they've tried to maybe move to a different type of football. And they're in this stage now where they're caught in between both. And that's the problem. Because we're relying on, and you see it every game, Szoboszlai is basically the trigger for Liverpool to go and press. He goes and press someone. Then you have the likes of Salah, Ekitike and Isak. They're not big pressing monsters either. And Gakpo, who doesn't do it as much this season as he should do. And what happens is like that. It's like you're playing against teams of good quality in the Premier League, in the Champions League, and it's 1 or 2 passes, they're in behind, and then it's just Gravenberch, McAllister sitting there if we don't win the ball back.
That worked last season.
No, it didn't. What you had last season was Szoboszlai wasn't the trigger. It was Núñez, it was Diaz, it was like those were the triggers, and then you had Szoboszlai coming up behind. This season, McAllister and Gravenberch, whether you could say it's confidence or whatever it is, they're not pressing up as high. I think they're almost a little bit scared to get caught out. And it's like this thing of they're trying to play so many different ideas in how they actually want to play football that the messaging is mixed in terms of what they should be doing. And then we're getting caught in between. Should we be pressing? Should we be sitting back? And there's just oceans of space every time we play Liverpool. We've seen it against PSV, seen it against Forest. Like every time we go and try and press someone, it's 1 or 2 passes and then you're in, and whether you're in basically on top of our midfield, and that's causing us issues. We're getting exposed way too often.
I actually don't think it's Diaz. Like this notion that Diaz was the guy last season. Still Diaz was playing as an auxiliary striker. I think it's about the confidence of some of these players. McAllister last season, McAllister was up there in terms of number of tackles. He was close to Caicedo. Yes, he was close to Caicedo in the number of tackles. He was close to Caicedo in the number of interceptions. He was close up there. This season, it fell apart. Gravenberch in the beginning of the season was the same. And I think it's nothing about Diaz. I think it's confidence. I think that teams have found, like the fear factor is gone from Liverpool.
Yeah.
A loss brings a loss. And your players have this thing about them that they're not confident when they're going into a tackle. And the oppositions, in the PSV game, you saw some players dribbling in their own half. PSV players. They're that confident that we're going to get past these guys. They're not as good as they were last season. And that plays a factor.
We're easy to play against. That's the whole thing.
Exactly that. And teams don't fear Liverpool. They don't fear Van Dijk. Like I've seen players going behind Van Dijk with ease. That didn't happen before.
Yeah. But I think that comes from like it's a change in players that we have. Do you know what I mean? They're players that they're not the same profile as ones that we had last year. Núñez obviously got his critics. Yes, 100%. He was not good enough in terms of conversion, but he ran like mad to chase people down. He ran and he got into difficult positions. He was difficult to defend against in terms of the amount of chances that he created. Just couldn't finish. That was his issue. And I don't think long term he would have been the solution. But the issue is that we don't press from the front. We're easy to play against. We're not aggressive enough in the tackle or when it comes to defending. We're easily exposed. We're not creating enough. Like there's so many issues. But yeah, like, I'm not looking forward to the game. Do you know what? I love watching Liverpool play. But right now, I'm like worried in every single game we play. Like every game we go into, I'm like, this could be like, we could get like killed again. And it's obviously not a fun way to watch football. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to support them to see if we can obviously get through.
That was me last season.
You've got to attribute some blame.
We never lost
Slot,
8 and 12 though, or 9 and 12.
Well,
that's
no,
the-
That is
that's-
where we're
I think,
gonna
I think you were
lock
10 and 13. I think it was in that October period.
No, it wasn't like this. City's run
yeah,
wasn't like this
It
at all.
was. I was
Jamie,
looking at it
you're
the
not-
other day.
you're
I was
not
City had a
done
thinking
bunch
yet.
of washed up old players. We didn't have all these brand new, like elite world class signings breaking the Premier
That's-
League
I
transfer
agree.
record.
I agree.
We had washed up Bernardo Silva and washed up Ilkay Gundogan like getting ran through. It wasn't like prime Gravenberg fresh off a team of the season type stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is it. Doesn't.
I
I don't
think
have
you've
an
got to-
argument to that.
You've got to attribute some of the blame, though, surely, Jamie, to Slot. Like you've absolved him of complete blame.
No.
What
Not
he said.
He said
absolving them.
partly. He did say
Yeah.
partly.
Not absolving them. Absolutely not. It's weird because I think a lot of people expected what happened this season or what is happening to Liverpool this season. They expected it last year, and I think there was. I don't think it's a case of like it's a change that like maybe should have happened last year. Obviously, it didn't. He went on and won the league, and he tinkered with things. But I think he's obviously a different manager at the club. You know what I mean? He's not the same. He's not like that high intensity pressing. And I think Carragher is spot on in terms of the way he talks about like Guardiola, Luis Enrique last year for PSG, where it's like that kind of ideology of football where it's like complete control and like real like kind of sexy football. Klopp was like more ingrained in chaos. And I think right now it's like we're trying to transition to like a team that is more in control of a game, but we still have the players that are so used to playing in the philosophy of Klopp. And yes, it's going to take time to obviously do that, but Slot, that's where your messaging has to be really important of what he wants of these players. And I think that's what he's getting wrong right now. And maybe some of the profile of players, like I've been a big criticism of bringing in Frimpong and Kirkes, who are ball carriers and want to like run up and down the left side. Whereas Robertson, especially last season, and Trent, they weren't that type of player. They were players that were happy to move the ball on, progress the ball forward quickly into our forwards. And that's why you've seen so last year, like Salah's getting so many chances, not because it was directly a ball from Trent into Salah, but Liverpool were getting the ball into our dangerous players, the likes of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and then we were moving up the pitch very quickly. Like the amount of counter-attacks that we scored from, or like just transition football that we were really good at and picking that pass at the right time. Right now, we don't have the players for that. And that's from not bringing in the players of the right profile in the summer. And we're seeing the results of that now. So I definitely don't absolve Slot a lot of it. But when it comes to 9 losses in 12 games, that's not solely down to the manager. You have to look at the players at that stage.
For me, if I'm looking at this team, big up everyone that joined us on Football Terrace, guys. Let's get to 300 likes live. Hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm going to tell you something about this Liverpool team. I genuinely believe that you miss a DM just to clear out Caicedo or Zubamendi. And it's as simple as
Gravenberch has
that.
not shown that this year.
It's as
think maybe
simple as
was a little
that.
bit with Fugazi last season.
I'm being completely honest. A DM, we used to say back in the days that the most important player on the pitch is the defensive midfielder. And that has gone from Liverpool. And the problem is Liverpool fans believe that they don't need a DM because of how Gravenberch and McAllister played last season. And that is wrong. You need someone like a Caicedo to break down because you create chances. Against PSV, they're 3xG. You create chances, you just miss them, but you concede. You concede mostly every chance against you. Every chance against you, you concede. And I think you need just it's as simple as having a DM that will give these players a little bit of freedom to move forward. McAllister and Gravenberch are worried about what's going on behind them. Van Dijk needs protection. And that's what I think, to be honest. Like, it's important. Like, every time I see a lot of 3-on-3 on Liverpool, 2-on-2, 4-on-4. That doesn't happen in football often.
No.
And it happens against Liverpool all the time because your midfield gets bypassed. And by the way, there's a lot of teams that don't press as high. And they win games. Like, they don't, like, and the press gets bypassed.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I said, when I was on live today, I said that I'm happy for Liverpool to sit back a little bit more, like be difficult to be a little bit more at this point, because what happens is if you're playing this kind of end-to-end basketball style football and you go 1 goal behind, players' heads are gone. Like, you can see that. We haven't won any points from losing positions so far this season to a team that were so good at doing it last year. Like, we're just in this kind of weird state of, if we go a goal down, like we're gone, and then we go chasing the game, we don't create that much, and teams just like fill in those gaps, and then we lose like we did against Forest and like we did against PSV. Like, it's just not normal. To the DM point, I don't know. Like you look at maybe Rice, Zubamendi. Like it is possible to play that way, but that's what I'm saying about with the way that he wants to play. Sorry, there's a clock going off with my computer. With the way he wants to play, I think he wants to play more like Guardiola than he does like say Maresca with Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to play with that kind of DM. He wants a controller type, but he doesn't have the ability to play that way right now, and that's why we're seeing them caught out so often.
That doesn't work if your team gets bypassed. The only way you can do that, if you have the ball all the time, you're in control. When you dispossess the opposition when you lose the ball, that is the only way you can do this.
Yeah,
and it's not happening for you. And I think I don't know. It's the manager has to go, in my opinion. The club, I don't think he has enough credit in the back. I just went and checked. It was actually 1 win in 13 for Manchester City last season, right? With a lot of losses.
But it wasn't 9 losses in 12. We lost games, but we drew a lot too. Don't forget.
Yeah, but that's still three wins in 12. It's not that bad.
6,
Okay,
7,
again,
8.
we had a bunch
Actually,
of
I just checked it. Actually, hold on. You literally lost 9 games.
Not in 13 games though. We lost 9 games over the course of the season.
No. In the all competitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
over
7,
the
8,
October
9.
period. Yeah.
Since October 30th, started in the cup when you lost to Spurs, you lost to Bournemouth, Sporting Lisbon, you lost to Bournemouth, you lost to Spurs again, you lost to Liverpool, you lost to Juventus, you lost to United, and then you lost to Villa. That's 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
In
My math was
13.
wrong. My bad.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that Pep Guardiola has credit in the bank. He doesn't. Like, honestly, he doesn't.
That's not
Do you know
credit
what?
in the bank.
He does have credit in the bank. 100% he does. Do you know what it is? With how, say, people obviously compare Klopp and Slot, and I think the issue is that with Klopp, I actually think Klopp will get more out of these players because he's more driven on like emotion. And I think that's what Liverpool need right now. They need a little bit of emotion. With Slot, not when you're saying he should get sacked now because he doesn't have money in the bank. I don't think that's fair to say. I think winning the Premier League, for a lot of fans like myself, I was at the last game of the season. I've never seen Liverpool lift the Premier League trophy. That does and should hold a lot of weight to fans.
No, it doesn't.
It does, Mo. It does.
No, Mourinho got sacked. Conte got sacked after lifting the Premier League.
We're not Chelsea. We don't operate in the same way. No, it's not a problem. No, it's not a problem.
I think it is a problem.
It's not, Mo. It's not. It's 2 clubs with different identities. And that's how they do things. I don't want to be like a Chelsea. And Chelsea fans, like 100%, like I think they have a way of doing things and there's no right or wrong answers. But I think Liverpool, whether it's right or wrong, they're a bit more ingrained in a manager. And like when a manager takes over a football club, they do maybe sit with them longer than they should.
Maybe that's why you won 1 league in 30 years.
Maybe that's why we have 6 Champions Leagues. Maybe that's why we're the most successful club in England. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's 2. You can look at it 2 ways.
Years ago, okay, Jamie, that is years ago.
Yeah, but that's part of our identity. That's part of our identity.
I don't care about the identity. I don't. To be honest with you, by the way, I'm gonna tell you, you can be different and wrong as well, Adi. It's fine. By the way, it's okay to be different. That's up to you. You can be different and wrong. In my opinion, a club like that, the level of Liverpool, with the players you have, with the assets you have, this cannot continue. You have to save the assets of football club.
But I agree with you. I agree that it can continue.
Why is the threshold?
How much credit?
Why is it exactly? But hold on, so, Neil. That is a good question. But let me just rephrase that question. Okay, Jamie, what if he loses next game? You think he should get sacked?
I think he has the next 3 games, and I think then he will potentially get sacked.
So if he loses the next 3 games, he should get sacked, right? That's what you think?
No, I said he will get sacked. Whether you think he should get sacked or not. Like Liverpool,
why not now? So why not now?
Liverpool are what? I think they're 2 points off 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So like a few wins with the run that we have.
2 points off 4th?
Yeah, I think so.
That's impossible.
Or 4th?
I'm not looking at the table. You can't be 2 points off 4th.
3 points off 4th, yes. 3 points.
Really?
Liverpool have 18.
Wow.
That's what I mean.
How are they doing in the Champions
That's not the point.
Well, we're 12. We're 12.
But that's... Okay, Jamie, you're literally 7 points ahead of the relegation zone.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're going to get relegated, but I can look at it in 2 different ways.
No, I know, I understand that. But what I'm saying, you're saying that Slot should get sacked, but I think
100%.
In any, if it was Chelsea, he probably will get sacked. If he was Man United, he probably will get sacked. But I think the fact that like he's won a league for Liverpool, for a lot of fans, that support Liverpool. Like for me, being at the last game of the season, that's a memory I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And he gave that to me. And I think that's something that a lot of Liverpool fans are kind of contemplating with right now, and the fact that like they're a bit torn. Like, yes, I understand the performances aren't good enough, and like on the rationale side of being a successful club and being one of the biggest clubs in the world, he should get sacked because results is all that matters in today's football. But at the end of the day, I think football is a little more that to me. I don't think it's just results orientated all the time. I think it matters how you carry yourself as a club and as a manager and as a team. And what the most disappointing thing for me is not like that we're losing games. It's how we're losing games right now. That's what I'm concerned about. And I think that's what, at the end of the day, some fans will differ. Mo, you may be slightly different to me in how you think about it.
I am different. When Inzaghi that won the league with Inter, he won number 20, which is he got us like to the 20th league title, which is every Inter fan wanted. When he bottled all the 3 competitions last season, even though second in the league by 2 points, he went to the Copa final, semi-final, Champions League final. I wanted him sacked right away. I wanted him sacked because I look at my football club and I look at any football club. What is next? What's the next step? What do I need from my football club? Do you think that what you see from Arne Slot now gives you any indication that he's going to be able to turn it around and get you where you should be? You're the only one that I've talked to that think that.
But no, you're saying no. Did you say no, Jamie?
No. Sorry, I meant no as in like I was just going to butt in.
Oh, right. I was going to say, because otherwise sack him, right?
Yeah. No,
that's my point.
You must believe
that
he can
is
turn it
my
around.
point.
No, yeah, of course I believe he can turn around because he just won us a Premier League. He just won us a Premier League. What? Like the fact that, and I think this is just, we just become so ingrained in like we just want to sack a manager. Let's move on. And to the thing of
run in 70 years. It's
but if we like
okay, a couple of losses.
But who do we bring in? Who do we bring in?
It doesn't matter. That's not our job as fans. That's not our job. Okay, Jimmy, that is not my job. You're not a scout. You're not paid to scout managers.
But then it's not your job. It's not your job to say who sacks them. You're not a chief executive of a club. You shouldn't say that. It is my job. Okay.
It is our job. We are doing YouTube, right? It is our job to say our opinion. 100%. I'm not the one who's going to make the decision.
Your opinion is and who should go back in.
Okay, Jamie, I am not the one who's going to sign the executive order for him to get sacked. But I'm allowed to say my opinion. Right?
Yeah, okay. But tell me who do you think's going to come in? If you think that he should be sacked, who do you think to replace him?
It is not my job.
I think that's a cop-out answer. That's a cop-out answer.
Absolutely not. It is not my job. Okay, let me tell you something. Arne Slot, when he was hired by Liverpool, it wasn't your job as a fan or my job as someone who does YouTube or Neil or Mark or Kelk to actually go out and scout for a manager that will be able to lead this team. The executives did it, right? The hierarchy did it for Liverpool.
But Mo, if you're a Liverpool fan, Mo, yeah, if look, Arne Slot, I agree, he needs to go. If you're a Liverpool fan, who do you bring in? If you're a Liverpool fan, who would you want to bring in?
Xavi Hernandez. Iraola. Xavi Hernandez. Iraola.
Bournemouth manager Areola. He's got some credit.
Xabi Alonso might leave Real Madrid.
That might be too big.
Why would he do that? They're winning everything.
No. You just go check the news. He's actually in because of Vinny and the problems with Vinny and stuff like this.
Vinny's about to get a new
that's
contract.
not me, but my point about it.
I think that's
go and pay out for a manager.
Yeah,
why is it? Okay, it's so strange when, like, for me, when people tell me who do you want, Xavi Hernandez, but maybe there's another manager out there that Liverpool can scout. Like you scouted Maresca. Scouted Maresca. Arsenal scouted Mikel Arteta, and nobody thought that Mikel Arteta can be an assistant manager to be a coach. There are Iraola. Okay, Bournemouth scouted Iraola. You can scout a manager. Like it's like it's for me.
They scout out of nothing, though. The other side to that is if they do scout out of nothing and take a punt on the next.
Yeah, it's a punt as well. Is what I mean? It's a punt. You don't know whether it's going to be worse.
Then Slot does have more credit in the bank, doesn't he? Because he's actually just been there and won it. Or if you go out there and get a proven manager, and you're taking less of a punt on like the Bournemouth Iraola, right? But I think if you're trying to find the next company or maybe not company, maybe the next, I don't know, Arteta or the next Enzo Maresca.
The next Arteta. I don't think Liverpool want a manager who can't get to a cup final. Liverpool want to win trophies. They don't want.
I think they trade places with us right now. That is for sure. I think everyone.
We're gonna come to. I know you are so annoyed by Mikel Arteta. We're gonna come to Arsenal at Chelsea. We're gonna come to Arsenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I
course,
just don't
he
get
left
the constant
City.
glazing,
I got it. I
'cause
got
the
it.
guy has had a super team in the past 2 years, and he can't make a cup final.
Super team. Okay, I don't want to go there, but hold that question, right? Because we're gonna talk about a super team last 2 seasons or last 3 seasons, because there is a discussion. But Jamie, for me, the assets, you might sell Salah.
You should.
And Salah, you need money for Mohamed Salah.
He's
And that
finished.
means the results need to be turned around. Because if
What
you're
do you
going to
mean?
replace, I'm going to
We
tell you,
get 50 million for him off Saudi.
that's the problem. Me and Hussam were talking about this the other day, right?
Yeah.
And we said, if Liverpool continue like this, if you were going to get, okay, let's just put a hypothetical. If you're going to get 60 million from Saudi Arabia for him, you're going to get 30 now. You aren't going to get more than this. Because
No.
the assets good. Yes.
No.
100%. You're assuming that people just pay the money for Mohamed Salah. If the performance is not improved, why would they pay the money? Why would they pay that much money?
Because he's
I'm
an
not saying
icon.
50 or 60.
They're not buying
icon.
Saudi. Yeah, they're not buying Saudi for for him to come in and win them bleeding the Saudi Champions League. That's not why they're buying him. They're buying him because he's going to be the face of the Saudi Pro League if he takes over from Ronaldo when he retires. That is why he's buying him. He's an icon. Exactly. He's not buying him to be the best footballer there.
Why would they pay? Okay, let's say if Liverpool are doing well, I'm not saying win the league. If Liverpool are doing well, winning games, how much do you think Saudi will pay for him, Jamie?
I don't know.
Just bear with me. Just bear with me with the question. So because I'm having a follow-up question. Let's imagine that Liverpool this season keep doing well. They are in a title race. You're winning games. I'm not saying you're winning the league. And then at the end of the season, you win or you don't win the league.
Anyway.
Okay, you win or you don't win the league. But Liverpool are doing
we
well.
get top four. We get top four. I think.
Okay, how much
I
do you
think
think
50 million would be something they would offer.
If the results continue like this and you finish 5th, 6th, 7th, how much do you think they will pay? The same money?
Yeah.
I think that is naive.
No, it's not.
50
million. The difference of 20 million of getting Mohamed Salah to their Premier League, to their league is the difference of 20 million is nothing to them. Is nothing. Money does not matter in those circumstances. Then they just want to get the player. If the player wants to come and the club says, right, we're not selling him, we're only selling for 50 million.
You're assuming that the Saudi league you're assuming that the Saudi leagues are naive. A player that is not performing, and if Liverpool want to get rid of him because of his wages, you're assuming that they're going to pay you whatever you want, and I don't think so.
Yeah, there'll be a negotiation, but I think it'll be 50 million.
I don't think they are naive like this. He's not young. I don't think they are.
Yeah. How much are some players? How much some players have gone to Saudi for? I don't like. What was it? Bruno Fernandes, they were talking 100 million, and like they finished 17th
but he was
or 15th last year.
He was performing.
What do you mean? He finished 15th last year. Your rationale was Liverpool say finished terribly, and Bruno Fernandes just got a contract of what? It was like 200 million a year to go play in Saudi, and United got offered 100 million, but he said he wanted to stay. Like they'll get 50 million for the player of the year last year.
50 million is fine. I believe if you are doing well, I don't think if you are doing. Here's what I think. I think if you're doing well, that 50 million can become 80. So that it comes to protecting your assets at Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe.
That is what I think.
Maybe.
Like, we'll see. But I hope that he turns it around, because, look, I don't want Salah to go out when like this, when pundits are actually like absolutely criticizing him. I don't want him to look like this, because it's currently his image is being destroyed, actually.
I think Liverpool need to actually do another rebuild, to be honest with you. Because if you have a look at the spine, right, Alisson, he's hardly ever fit. Van Dijk has now become an
just
average
spent $500 million, Mark.
Yeah. Have a look at it. Van Dijk is average.
I like it. What a rebuild needed.
You have to
you
rebuild the
actually do
spine.
a show together, because rebuild, let's spend more money. I like it. It's a Chelsea. You know what the irony is? You know what the irony is?
We're gonna rebuild.
You know what? It is a Chelsea fan talking. Spend more money. It's fine. It's okay. Sell Jackson.
Oh yeah, because you're going to rely on Mo Salah for the upcoming years. You're going to rely on Van Dijk. You're going to rely on Alisson.
No,
that's your spine.
They have a center back problem for sure. They need to rebuild their back line.
Mo, we told you last week they got holes.
We told you, Mo.
They got holes. They got holes.
They got holes. They need to spend more money.
McAllister is fine.
Crazy thing is, Mark is right.
Isak's a waste of money. Frimpong's a waste of money.
No.
Kirk is definitely a waste of money. Right? You have to. You stay. The board messed up completely.
Waste of money.
Yeah, but
now you're going to spend more money to replace your spine, which is old, deteriorated.
Isak,
waste
of money.
Waste of money. Waste of money is a bit
hard. It is when you spend $90 million on Ekitike to do the same role.
No,
Are you
it's
gonna
not a
play
waste of money.
4-4-2 with the two of them?
No,
Because
it's
if you
not a
can't
waste of money.
play a
It's
big
not a
lineup
waste of money.
Then you're wasting
No.
at least 90 million minimum.
You can't just
wasted
say a waste
500
of money
million.
after less than 6 months of football. It doesn't work like that. It's the exact it does not. Football does not work like that. Ronaldo didn't score in his first 12 games for Man United. Was he a waste of money at that time? No. You know what I mean? Like, players maybe don't start their career the best in some clubs. There's obviously different reasons as to why that is. You judge a player at the end of the career. Salah at Chelsea, was he a waste of money then? Where he goes on then and does what he does for Liverpool. You don't know what way a player is going to turn it out. And I say to say all of them are a waste of money after less than 6 months of football is ridiculous.
I don't think it's a waste of. By the way, I don't think it's a waste of money for one reason. Anyone that got the chance to sign Alexander Isak would have spent the same exact money to sign Alexander Isak. Anybody, any club, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, anybody.
No,
City
we
maybe
have
not.
Erling Haaland.
City maybe not
Isak.
because they have Erling Haaland. But anybody that needs a striker would have actually got that chance and spent that money to sign Alexander Isak.
But they just spent 80 million on Ekitike 2 days before.
It doesn't matter. It's not 2 days before.
Bad decision making.
No,
It's
Mark.
bad purchasing.
It's
exactly
at the end. At the end, Alexander Isak was the prize jewel of the transfer market in Europe last season.
And how is he doing?
Because that's a different story then.
It's connected.
No. You said it's a waste of money. That means you think at that time they shouldn't have signed him.
Are you proud? Would you like him to come to your club?
Okay, forget. Well, I think you're talking in hindsight. We're talking.
Yeah.
You said,
But you
okay.
like context,
Mark. You said now it's a waste of money. That means you think that Liverpool should not have signed him at that time. Was that correct?
Yeah, that's
how
right.
I understand.
Because you just signed Ekitike.
You tell me.
That's a good sign because he started the season so well.
Any club in the world that had the money would have spent that money on the prize jewel of the transfer market last season. Any club. Arsenal would have done it. Chelsea would have done it. Anybody that has the money would have done it. Because he was the most anticipated player in the market.
Even after spending 80 million Ekitike 2 days before that.
But
So which one's the bad signing, Mark? Is it Isak or is it
No,
Ekitike?
you tell me, Keezer. It looks like Ekitike is.
In their team, though.
By the way, Ekitike had 0 goals, 0 assists in 8 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the whole team has been playing so badly.
Yes,
that's the thing.
People don't talk about this enough.
Yeah,
guy hasn't scored or assisted in a lot of games. Now.
He scored. He's doing. He's a few good touches and stuff.
Did you shake his confidence by signing Isak? That's what I wonder because he started
because we signed him
very well.
He was
but we signed him. He was still scoring.
He was still scoring at the beginning after the signing. So.
Yeah, and it was after Isak got signed. I feel like his form started to tail
maybe
off.
Isak needs a preseason in December, in January.
Well, maybe he shouldn't
Why
cry.
just hope? Why just hope?
I'll
become flying into Lions.
Be a professional.
For Liverpool, to be honest, it's a strange situation for Liverpool because they are so as a team, as a starting 11 on paper, they're supposed to be so good, like the best, probably, right? But it's
Arsenal have a shout as well. To be fair, they have a lot of good players.
They're not even comparable to you in terms of names up top. Like it's not even close.
Yeah,
Isak,
but I just think
if you ask anybody last season, Jamie, Eucharist or Isak, if Isak is a 9 out of 10, Eucharist is a 6, right? Saka or Salah wins. Like the left winger, they really needed a left winger. Then they were trying to sign a left winger. Now, in hindsight, yes, Arsenal are better. But in the summer, nobody picked Arsenal front line ahead of you. Even Arsenal fans would say, no, we didn't. It's Liverpool. You know, because Salah is coming from a historic season.
Had the 11, didn't they, really? You had Liverpool had the 11 at the start of the season. Who would you have gone? Yeah, okay, would have got a few defenders in there, but Zubimendi was unproven over here. Gravenberch just coming off a title win. McAllister, you'd have packed our midfield, and then probably people would have put Wirtz in and dropped
Odegaard, 100% on paper.
Odegaard,
Who would you choose? Odegaard or Wirtz? You would choose the guy that won player of the season in Germany.
Rice, Wirtz. That's what probably the midfield.
Probably even. But even
there's an argument for Gravenberch, McAllister.
There is even if you say that. Declan Rice in the Premier League last season didn't have the greatest season, right? Last season he had these moments in the Champions League. McAllister got in team of the season as well last season. Gravenberch got in team of the season last season.
Exactly. You probably got both of them.
If we're talking about recent history, Salah historic season. If you're asking me, Havertz, Eucharist, and Jesus, or Ekitike and Isak, anyone would choose Ekitike and Isak over them. Anyone, especially after the season that Isak had. Left side, you talk Gakpo, maybe Martinelli and Trossard. Arsenal fans wanted Martinelli and Trossard gone. They wanted to get a left winger. right? So, by the way, Konate last season had a magnificent season. Everyone, I don't like people rewriting history. You know that last season, Konate was phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
He
Really
said
good.
that was the best duo in the center back.
They were amazing. I'm telling you, Van Dijk and
Yeah.
Konate last season, they were phenomenal. They got Kerkez, the team of the season left back last season. So, okay, so it's Allison. So starting 11, you had it. You had it. Now in hindsight, it's different. It's different. But listen,
That was always going to be a problem, though. They had the best starting 11 on paper, but they had no depth at all. And the chances of your entire starting 11 going injury free the whole season or not dropping form at all is very low.
But that's
At
the
least
argument
it
then
was
to
a
Isak and
conversation.
Ekatike. Like Ekatike and Isak have both picked up injuries, but then they've both been able to come in. So like we lost Nunez, lost Diaz, and then obviously like tragically lost Jota as well. So like we need to bring in people to come in and quality players to come in. And that's why like the Isak Ekatike thing doesn't make sense to me. Like we lost three forwards and we've brought in 2. You know what I mean? So
But
like
you brought
realistically,
two number ones for the
can
same
I- but can I-
position. It doesn't
I wanna
work.
move on
That's
from
why
Liverpool.
Julian Alvarez is in Atletico
The
Madrid.
last-
we
Lost,
were only
ask
playing
about
with one.
Liverpool.
We only had Nunez and we needed a striker.
But
So we
I-
only
but
had
I
one.
gotta ask a
Why wouldn't we
question.
have 2?
okay, I'm gonna tell you why
You don't
wouldn't
buy
have
2
to.
number ones.
Bravo. Tell me one team in the world that had 2 number ones up top as main striker. Tell me any. Even Julian Alvarez couldn't take it. He's like, I'm gone.
That's why
I'm
that's why
leaving.
Alvarez is in
I'm
Atletico
leaving.
Madrid. He doesn't want to be a 10 or sit on the bench.
There is no club in the world that has 2. Now, like, imagine Kane and Haaland. Imagine Kane and Isak. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work.
Don't Pep with a good time.
Like, what I mean is that wouldn't work. Like, historically, that doesn't work. Higuain and Benzema at Real Madrid, even though both of them were like in and out, one of them started complaining. Higuain is like, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm leaving. I can't stay. That is the problem.
Isak
I know that you needed
started
another
his career
striker.
on the left. Isak started his career on the left. Yeah, he can play there. Why can't you play Isak on the left and Ekatike up front?
It's 100% what he should do, actually.
That's what he should do. Why can't you do
Seen
that?
yet.
Yeah, but
we haven't
is
seen
Isak?
that.
That's
is
up to
Vigo
Slot
gonna
to
allow that
decide.
now?
But that's up to Slot to decide. But my thing is that like we lost 3 forwards and we brought in 2. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't like whether you say we lost like a centre forward or we lost a left winger, whatever it is. Like at the end of the day, you probably need like, and Liverpool have been really good at it over the last few years, but they've had like 4 or 5 forwards. Ekatike coming in, yes, he came in for big money, but at the end of the day, like we had players going in the transfer market for 60, 70 million, average players that were going for 60, 70 million. Ekatike was a player coming in from Frankfurt that you were hoping that was going to do well, but you don't know if he's going to do well. If Liverpool had to start the season with only Ekatike up front, everyone would be like, you should have brought in another forward. You should have brought in another forward. That's what would have been said. And like the fact that Isak was available as one of the best strikers in the world that was on the market, and Liverpool had the chance to go and settle or go and buy him, then they were right to do that.
I agree with this, right? But it's a problem. I agree with this. It's nobody. I'm gonna repeat again. Nobody
good
will have an
problem.
opportunity to sign Alexander Isak.
A good
As long
problem.
as if you are able to keep them happy, that's fantastic problem to have. By the way, if you are able to keep them happy, that is fantastic problem. Are they gonna be happy? I don't know.
That's
To
the
be honest,
hardest
I
thing to
don't-
do is keep him happy.
Yeah, but like you say
I've
that
seen
about
it
every
failing
team.
before. I've seen it failing before.
I've seen nothing but like really good players leave my team because they don't want to sit on a bench. Riyad Mahrez, Emerick Laporte, Alvarez, like just constant, just over the years. They don't want to. Good players who are worth their weight in gold do not want to sit on a bench, and they don't want to play out of position. They want to be the guy in their position, and they don't want competition.
Oh, I agree, guys. We're moving on to Chelsea and Arsenal, but before we do that, guys, we got about 250 votes, and we're not even on 200 likes. We need to get to 300. So we got over 500 people in the house, people. So hit that like button, people, and subscribe to the channel, guys, if you are new. And also check out okjersey.com to get like affordable football shirts. You guys can check that. Use the code JUDGE as well to actually get yours. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I'm gonna ask something first about Chelsea. Are we now in conclusion that Chelsea are in a better trajectory than Liverpool?
Yeah,
Are we
course.
making that conclusion?
Well,
Do you mean this
of
season
course
or
we
long
are.
term?
Okay, long term. Okay, let me just do this. T, big up. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you. Big up Uncle Mo and my Arsenal brother. That is Neil. If you haven't met him before, Frenemies podcast. They're trying to make it on YouTube. They're absolutely brilliant, guys. So go and support the guys. Of course, they are in the description. Their channel is in the description. So go and support them. Make sure to subscribe to their channel as well, guys. Long term.
We said it last week. We said it last week, Mo. We said Chelsea will finish above Liverpool this season. Is that how long term you're thinking?
Yeah, what is long term?
No, not this season. Not this season.
I don't think Chelsea want to win big trophies.
If Chelsea finish second this season and Liverpool finish,
what did you just say?
I don't think Chelsea want
not want to win big trophies.
Say that again.
I think they're happy to do the model that they have with like bringing in young players, selling them on for money. Like that's a business now. Like if they win a trophy, they're happy out. But like I don't think the main objective is to win trophies every year. I think the main objective is to make money.
That's what Brighton do, not Chelsea.
We're two players away to really compete.
We're not gonna. Yeah,
you're talking about the goalkeeper. They're now
him.
looking at activating Mike Maignan. He's like 30 years old.
You should have gone for Donnarumma.
He's 30. He's
too
30,
old.
Mark.
He's
can't buy him.
Beginning of the
He's
season,
30. He's a
Chelsea,
goalkeeper.
when Donnarumma was available, you should have signed him.
I agree.
Yeah. But they didn't.
I agree.
Why did they
agree
not sign him? Why did they not sign him? Because he's too
So
old.
refreshing.
They
compared
get no
to some
resale
Chelsea
value.
fans.
No resale value. That's why they did. That's why they didn't sign him.
Then how comes they've recently just activated his clause?
Who? No, I'm talking
Mike
about Donnarumma.
Mike
Maignan.
Maignan.
Yeah, but he's
Okay.
30.
Donnarumma, look, I agree. We should have actually
26.
got him. He's 26, yeah. Look, I agree. We should have actually got Donnarumma. Yeah, he does. Look, I admit the club does look like they are out there to make money. Levi Colwell gets injured. We need a defender. The board go, forget that, let's spend 55 million on Gittins. Let's spend 50 million on Garnacho.
Exactly.
I understand. It's hard to argue with the fact that the club see it as a business. They are one of the most successful businesses. Like, we've made so much money in sales. But
100%.
at the same time, Giza, you can't just say we're not out there to winning the league. We are.
Mark,
If
if you're seriously trying to win the league, you would have taken that money from Madueke.
Matt, what would
Abramovich
Abramovich
spent
done?
it on Eze. You
What
would have got
Abramovich
an
done?
Eze. You wouldn't have got Gittins. You would have got a centre back. You would have got a keeper.
It's a valid
if you were
point.
serious about trying to win the league, you're not trying to win the league.
But let's say we get Mike Maignan. Yeah, France international. Let's say in the summer we get an experienced centre back. Yeah, and by experience I mean 23, 24. Right? What would you say then?
That's not experience.
At Chelsea's level, it is. But Chelsea's level,
24-year-old.
All right, but
You're
that's football
saying,
level.
yeah, you're dismissing Chelsea. Yeah, we've got the youngest squad. Yeah, and we're second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 wins, last 4 games, 4 clean sheets. We have the highest XG. We're creating chances left, right, and centre. Yeah. We just need 2 more players and we will officially compete. We can still probably compete this season. We just have to see how the season pans out. But saying that, we're just a selling club,
what happened there?
Disrespectful.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. You're not a selling club. 100% not. What I'm saying is that Chelsea's priority right now is money, is business. You know what I mean? It's like they're gonna say what you said there. You made a really good point. Like you probably should have went out and bought like a really experienced defender, a really experienced goalkeeper, but you don't. You go out and sign Garnacho and Gittins. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Like that's the difference in winning big trophies. Going out and signing those players that are going to decide the big titles. And for me, that's what I think Chelsea are right now. They're more business orientated. I'm not saying that they potentially will go on and win. I think their squad is one of the best in the Premier League. Really exciting to watch. But when it maybe gets a little bit difficult, or you maybe go through that bad run of patch and you need to rely on your experienced players, you're not going to have them because that's not your model. Your priority isn't to win the big trophies or to do the things to win the big trophies. It's to buy the players that will have resale value. Like if you got 150 million bid off Real Madrid for Estevao, they take it. They'd 100% take it.
You're assuming.
No,
yeah, you are
100% no. 100% no. You're by 100%.
Coming to 150 mil.
It's okay, guys. It's okay to learn. Okay, guys, it's okay to raise your hand and say I'm wrong. I was educated by a couple of people about why Chelsea couldn't buy a centre back. They said that UEFA put restrictions on them and they couldn't spend the money on a centre back unless they sell a centre back. And they couldn't shift Badiashile, they couldn't shift Desasi, they couldn't sell anyone. Right?
I've only researched that.
Research this because I've had 2-3 people actually. I've had 2-3 people send me articles about this. Send me articles, and it's not only about the money; it's about the wages as well at the team. So they couldn't. For the Mike Maignan, right? I think they trusted Sanchez, and I genuinely believe Mike Maignan would have been better. I actually think Sanchez has been very good this season, and I mean very good.
Other than the Man United game, he's actually had this year. He's been really
actually
good.
Can I tell you? Even the Man United game, by the way, based on what happened between Eucharist and Nick Pope, he didn't make a mistake. He got the ball. They shouldn't have sent him off.
No, it was definitely red.
Jamie, Howard Webb said if the goalkeeper gets the touch and the momentum takes him, he should not. You can take about any player comes out. You know, Alisson did it with Van Dijk last season against Arsenal. That doesn't mean he's a shit goalkeeper. I think Sanchez is good. And I think it's all about the wages as well. Mike Maignan would have come to Chelsea and asked for a big wages. Maybe they're waiting for next season. For Giddens and Garnacho, I don't know why they didn't go and buy Semenyo. Why they didn't go and buy an Eze. That is the only
Nobody wanted
position.
Semenyo until this season. Let's be honest.
No, last season he was
No, that's not
For
true.
me, I actually think
true.
if you look at Chelsea now, if they sell one of the stars this summer, I will say that, Jamie, you're right. As of now, Chelsea haven't sold any of their stars. Real Madrid came knocking for Enzo Fernandez and they told him no. They told him no right away. They told him no. He's not even on the market. That means Chelsea will sell the fringe players. They will sell a Jackson. They will sell a Madueke. They won't sell the main guys. They wouldn't sell like Malo Gusto. They were even asked about Malo Gusto in the summer and they said, no, we're not selling the guys. So we gotta, I stand corrected about this. Yes, they want to make the money. They want to make the business successful. But at the same time, there are signs that say that Chelsea aren't selling their core. And the core, we all know the core. It's the Caicedos, the Enzos, the Colwells, Cucurella, Malo Gusto, Reece James. They might sell a Jackson. They might sell a Gittins or a Garnacho next season, but they might not sell an Estevao. They might sell a Delap and get another one if it doesn't work. But until Chelsea sell one of the stars for the money that you're talking about, right? I'm not going to make that assumption yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make that assumption because, you know, like it's easy to sell your superstar. You know, it's easy. Real Madrid come knocking, you sell the superstar for the right money.
It depends, obviously, what the player's preference is as well. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And we know that Enzo Fernandez, as an Argentinian, would want to play in La Liga. It's just the dream of most of the Argentinian players to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. They grew up supporting this club. So a Real Madrid or Barcelona make a lot of sense. Even Julian Alvarez, even now he's at Atletico Madrid, he wants to go to Barcelona.
He wants to go to Barcelona really bad.
Right? So I'm not going to make that assumption for Chelsea. I'm not yet. Or in terms of challenging for the league, Kelk said that last season they were in the same place. Are you expecting them to fall apart?
They were, but they were. It was right around.
Are you expecting them to fall apart?
I mean, I don't know what to expect anymore. They're definitely a little bit better than last season, but I still think they have a gaping hole in the center back position. And so, if they can maybe bring somebody in January, maybe my confidence will change.
Won't.
But...
They said they won't. They said if Fofana stays fit, they won't bring a center back.
I
Unless
think
Fofana goes out
to
for a long-term injury.
Nice.
But
that's like me counting on John Stones to stay healthy.
I think the talk is if Fofana stays fit for the coming period, for the next month, they're going to rely on him. If he goes out for a long-term injury again, they might look in the market. But otherwise, they won't.
Yeah, it's just that area really concerns me because I still think they can be got at. And, you know, but they're showing some marginal improvements. Like last season, you would have thought, like last season, they probably would have like drawn that game to Burnley, and they've still had some results like that this season. But you know, they're slowly getting better. You know, they overcame Burnley's low block and they won the game, so that's a positive step. And they've had some big results in the Champions League too. That'll give them some confidence. Like
I think,
it sounded like they won the Champions League on Tuesday based on the stuff.
They'll be Arsenal's hardest game this season. I think Chelsea. I think the form that they're in and the players, the quality that they have, I think that'll be.
And they should win. They should win.
Chelsea should.
Okay. I'm not predicting a win. Okay, here is the difference. I'm not predicting a win, but if I'm a Chelsea fan, I expect my team to win the game.
Yep.
You don't see the difference, Jamie. Like, for example,
I expect Liverpool to win against West Ham on Saturday or on Sunday, but that doesn't mean that they will.
Exactly this. So expectation is different than prediction. Like Liverpool, when they played Arsenal, I told him, Liverpool should demand a win from their team. There is any team that comes to Anfield, you should demand a win. Is it going to happen? That is a different story. Are we now?
Win?
Yeah, but be impartial then. Like I wouldn't expect it like Chelsea fans, because I would be the same. Like I back my team to win, whoever they're playing against. But like if you were sitting there, like what would you expect? Like probably
a draw.
The most likely result is a draw.
A draw.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think Chelsea at home. The form that they're in, they'll make it difficult.
My point, Jamie, is that Chelsea should be disappointed if they get a draw. Of course, depending on the context.
They should definitely. They're on a hot streak right now, and they're at home, so they should be expecting a win. And I'm really looking forward to that midfield matchup. That's going to be fun to watch.
I know there's a lot of people that want to do the combined 11 and all this stuff. Are you expecting a win, Mark, from your team?
Yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. Like, this Sunday is going to be a blockbuster. I'll admit, I said it on the podcast, on our podcast, that Arsenal are probably the best team in the world right now. But Chelsea are conjuring up something a little bit special. And I think that that game against Barcelona could be a real turning point. I think Chelsea have the squad, the talent, not just to beat Arsenal, to actually probably destroy them. And here's why. Arsenal are a big team, arguably the biggest team. But Chelsea are a big team destroyer. Yeah, this is actually where Chelsea shine against the big teams. We have more worry against teams like Burnley setting up a low block, right? They said that Chelsea can't play against the big boys. Barcelona,
Arsenal
Liverpool.
could do that.
Well,
They could roll the low block.
yeah, they can, but there's other factors that you've got to take into consideration. We're at home. We have the backing of our fans. We have the confidence. We have the highest XG in the Premier League. Right? I think on Sunday we're going to bring Arsenal back down.
When is the last time you saw
Wait, did
Arsenal?
you just try? Did
Yeah.
you just
Hold on.
I like
destroy
your, I
Bayern
like your,
Munich
I like
again
your
after
attitude.
the
I like your
season?
vibe. You're a good
Good
guy.
When is the
Mark,
last
when you
time
say
we saw
destroyed,
Arsenal
what-
get destroyed? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
That
saying
was
it.
no-
I'm saying it. I'm
Happy
saying
day.
it.
Yeah,
No, no,
Arsenal
no,
just
no,
destroyed a big
What's
team.
destroyed?
I
Like
don't
three or more goals. I assume you mean by destroyed 3 or more goals. Yeah,
3-1. 3-1.
3-1.
Two-
Wow.
Okay,
Two
right.
plus.
When
Two
was the
plus
last
goal
time
margin.
Arsenal
3-1.
conceded
Arsenal
I
three
think,
gave
goals?
up
I think the
goals
last
in
time
the
I
game.
tree was like,
Years.
was it-
Mo said it doesn't matter about
years
what
ago.
happened in the past. It's all about now.
But what
Yeah.
gives
And
you
you
the
think-
confidence?
okay, hold
Okay,
on.
what gives
And
you the
you think-
confidence that you'll score?
Yeah, and
3
you
against
think
us?
the level between Arsenal and Chelsea today is a 2+ goal margin in a game?
Who has scored 3
Yeah,
goals
it
on that
is.
defense
Yes,
in the
I
past
do,
couple
Mo.
of years?
I do.
For
Mo.
Arsenal, I know they're going to say for Arsenal, not for Chelsea. Mark, you
I
cannot
think
be
it's a
serious.
bit naive to think you could score 3 on that defense. That's the best defense in the world by a long shot. Like
I don't
it's
think
very
we've conceded
naive.
3 goals in over 2 years.
This
It must be like
Sunday,
over
that's
100
where it's
games.
it was
gonna
it Brighton,
change.
Brighton
This
away or
Sunday.
something?
Even then, I doubt we've conceded 3 goals. I don't know. Mo's a stat man. I don't think we've conceded
yeah,
3
I'm
goals.
actually
cannot
checking
think
it.
of the
It
last
must
time
be
we gave
over
up 3
100
goals.
games. But Mark is right in the sense, and Jamie as well, that this is going to be a tough test. This is going to be a super tough test because it's not only that Chelsea are on a run, we're playing them at a time when they're on fire. They're up for it. And trust me, I live down the road from Stamford Bridge. Mo, this is the first time I've heard the ground this loud in 4 years. They are cooking up something. They are cooking up something. That is for sure. But I do back us. I back us to bring it. You're not going to, genuinely, 3 goals against us is that's
Cucurella
a wild
pocketed.
prediction.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my prediction. Cucurella.
Yeah, and as well.
Pocketed Dembele, Doué, Lamine Yamal, which means I believe he'll pocket Saka. You've got the 2 best midfielders, right? Rice against Caicedo. And as good and as confident, as amazing as Rice has been, I think Caicedo will pocket him as well, right? Sprinkled with the
Don't
fact
discount
here that
Enzo.
now you've got
Enzo's been
Esteval.
very hot right now.
What happened to Jimmy?
He said he had to
Yeah,
go.
He said he had to
Okay.
go.
Okay, no
Yeah.
worries.
No, I agree. Esteval has been amazing against Barcelona. I do believe that was his best display performance in a Chelsea shirt. His chemistry with Caicedo is getting even better. He's going to be an asset. And then, of course, we've got Esteval. Yeah, the most talented player to come out of Brazil since Neymar. 29 million for me, signing of the window. As I said before, priceless. Yeah, three goals in 3 Champions League games. I think every time he jumps on the pitch, whether he's starting, whether he's just coming on, since Cole Palmer's out, he is our one piece of magic. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you guys swarm him. Yeah,
Everything you
he'll
say
still
is
fuck you
right,
over.
Mark. Mark, everything that you say is right to an extent. But you see what you did? You mentioned individuals. You mentioned Marc Cucurella. You mentioned Moises Caicedo. You mentioned Enzo. And you mentioned Esteval. That's exactly the problem that you're going to be facing when you come up against us, because you're mentioning individuals, and we're a juggernaut. We're a unit. Our defense, you said about Gabriel, or when he goes down, we'll see. Or when Saka goes down, we'll see. What Arteta's done, he's built something that is bigger than any individual player. That's what you're going to be facing. I'm not going to talk about individual players, even though, yes, I believe we've got the best midfielder in the world. We do, but we've also got the best units in the world. That's what makes us better. You got man for
Mosquera
man
still
against
needs,
Bayern Munich.
Mosquera still
Bayern Munich
needs a
do
little
us.
bit more time, geezer. Right?
No, that's
When
what I'm
Gabby
saying,
was in
Mark.
the
That's what
when
I'm saying.
Gabby
It's not
was
about
there,
Mosquera.
I'll
It's about the
100%
unit,
admit
bro.
that you guys have the best defense. You take him out. You can't just go, oh, you know what? We're going to go ahead and replace the best defender.
But we
Mosquera
have.
had a good game.
But
And
how have we
it
done
looks
it?
like a good. But
How
let's
have
see
we
if he can
done
do it
it?
on a consistent basis. Let's see if he can do it against Chelsea.
But that's my point, Mark. If there's 2 games since Gabby went down, imagine Virgil van Dijk went down at Liverpool. You bloody notice, wouldn't you? Imagine Levi Colwill has gone down. You bloody notice.
But has he really been tested? What?
Imagine
Ruben
Ruben Diaz goes down.
Tottenham was so
you're
negative
noticed.
that game. Bayern Munich were well off the pace, geezer. Let's have a few more games to see you have this so solid unit. Yeah, you have a solid unit, but you can't just take out Gabby and go, oh, you know
what I'm saying is there will be a drop off.
No,
it is a hole.
Let's put pressure on him and see how he does.
Yeah,
then.
But that is
and you think you can put more pressure? Okay, hold on. You think you can put more pressure than Bayern Munich?
Yeah, because Bayern didn't really come out and play their full game, especially in the second half. I'll give it. Bayern in the first half, they may slightly nudge the performance, but that they completely capitulated. And there was 2 major errors for Manuel Neuer. If he just stopped by his line, it would have been 1-1 or 2-1, and that would have given.
Were Barcelona naive against you, more?
Sorry, what was that?
Were Barcelona naive against Chelsea?
Absolutely.
Okay, so same. I don't think so. I think Bayern played better than Barcelona.
Bayern Munich have the best, arguably the best front man in the world. Harry Kane.
But your playing still needs to be switched on and up for the game.
But this is my point, though. Yeah, Harry Kane is on fire. There's no 2 ways about it. You can say, oh, he didn't put it on. No, Bayern Munich didn't put it on our defense. Maybe we didn't allow him to put it on us because Harry Kane was limited to 0 shots. That's the best, arguably. He's top 2 in the world.
Harry Kane for you. Big
can I ask you something for real? You don't, Mark. You don't think that Arsenal are the best team in the world now, do you?
But I just said I do believe that they are probably the best team in the world right now. Yes.
So if you think that Chelsea are able to destroy the best team in the world, you think that Chelsea should be actually winning the Premier League and maybe competing for the Champions League then?
Absolutely.
Because
I'm saying yes.
Okay.
I'm saying yes.
I didn't know that. Neil, this is your partner in the podcast. I don't know if he said that before. You really think that? Okay. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that's what you think. Now I know. You know what? Now I know that you're expecting. So you're expecting. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I said it on our podcast, geezer. I think that Chelsea will finish above Arsenal. Now, I get it. A lot of people are looking at that. That is one crazy.
So that is based on what?
Like
I need you to dissect this for us. I need you to
4 years ago, Jamie Carragher. What's his name? Gary Neville. Who's the favourite? Who'd you put your money on winning the league? Arsenal. The next year, who'd you put your money on winning the league? Arsenal. Then the year after, that was their one chance. That was the first time, that a team has led in the new year and have lost the league. Last year, they should have actually done it. They didn't even compete. This is what happens with Arsenal. I'm about to set it straight. The last 4 years, Arsenal play well the first season. And Man City usually don't. But what happens is in the new season, City turn it up. They turn it up. And then you see them hunting and chasing Arsenal. Arsenal look behind their back and they crap their pants. They start parking the bus.
We were chasing City 2 seasons ago. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Last 19 games, we won 17 and drew 1. We were chasing City 2 seasons ago.
You lost that crucial game against Villa.
We did, yeah. But out of 19, you're going to lose 1. We won 17. That, to me, I don't think the narrative. But
that's the way the pattern's gone. In the second half of the season, you bottle it or you park the bus and you crap your pants. Yeah. So why would I go against that right now? Let's see in the second half of the season how the teams are doing. How the distance between Arsenal is, and let's see if you can actually keep up that consistency.
Well, we have been the most consistent, Mark. What are you on about? You
What,
taking the
for
last
10 games, 11 games? Ooh.
What
Let's see how you do in the second half of the season. That's what
the
I'm
last
saying.
3 seasons. Who's been the most consistent? We've been the most consistent team. Yeah, we
And
finished
what's it
second.
done for you?
Well, my
How have you
point
done with
being-
that? What have you won with that?
Mark,
What
yeah,
have you
Mark,
won?
what have I won with that?
Yeah.
What have I won with that? There's the lowest form of conversation. We're talking right now, Mark, about what are you're saying, what are you basing Chelsea finishing above us for? I tell you what, yeah, you want to talk about past seasons? The last 3 seasons, we've outscored you by 76 points. That's a league title in 1999, dude. And
Okay.
you know that we've got better. So what gives you
Yeah.
the thinking that once we've got better this season, bearing in mind we've outscored you by 76 points the last 3 seasons, what gives you the confidence you're going to finish above us?
They
great,
have
Neil.
2
3
trophies in
seasons,
that
I
time
win it.
period,
It's
and you have
12.
0.
What trophies are you talking about? What the little
A
conference
European
cup?
trophy and a
Conference
Club World
Cup.
Cup.
I admit
Don't worry,
it's
people.
irrelevant.
What are
I
you gonna-
admit
we're gonna
that.
flex the
I
Community
admit the
Shield?
Conference Cup is
Come on,
irrelevant.
Come on. Declan Rice
This is
won
a
that with West
results-based
Ham.
league, isn't
Give
it?
it a rest. And you won.
By the way, the
preseason
Conference
trophy.
League. By the way, I'm going to say something. The Club World Cup and the Conference League are not an indication of your team progress in terms of a team in the league. By the way, it's not. Like, I hear what Mark is saying in terms of like his confidence in his team. Do you think you have the team to finish above Arsenal? You just complained about your center back and the goalkeeper. Do you have the striker? Do you have like? Do you think you have a better team than Arsenal to compete on all fronts, the cups and the Champions League, and the league as well?
Arsenal have a better squad. They do, and it's.
What about a
in-depth.
better
And
team? What about a better starting 11?
Let's go, man.
By the way,
Fine,
make
always-
it
fine.
we don't
Yeah,
go man. We
always-
don't go man for man, Gizo. You got to look at the
We
team
don't
and the
do-
unit.
But let's do an 11.
And
You
that's
still
the
got to
whole
put an
point.
11
I
now.
If
want
we
to do this
actually-
11.
Okay, who's more? Okay, guys, who's more structured on the pitch? For real, Mark. For real, let's be objective. Who's more structured on the pitch? Chelsea or Arsenal? Who's more Arsenal? So you know we can go man to man. We can say, okay, Seydou's a better DM than Zubamendi. This Palmer is better than Odegaard. You can say Cucurella is better than Calafiori or whoever.
We
you
can go
say
man
Reece
to man
James.
if you want. You're selling it for me already, mate.
But
You
I'm
wanna go
telling
11?
you,
Let's do
forget
it.
man to man. By the way, man to
I
man
said-
is
He's-
not what
he's
makes a
fighting the unit
team.
talk.
I
Guys, it's not what makes the team.
forget individual like comparisons, but if you want to do that, I can
So you're
do
not
that. It's no
making
problem.
sense then, Mark. You're not making sense because
I did say they are.
I was
have
the
a better
one. I was the
unit.
one that said that if you want to do a man to man.
what is your
Yeah.
logic of saying you will finish above Arsenal? That doesn't make any logic in my head. Like if it
You know
happens,
what,
it
Mo?
happens.
We'll
But
see.
what? Like
Mo,
to, no,
see.
it's not. We'll see. We'll see. Is not.
Yeah,
There's
we'll
no
see.
way. There's
We'll
no
see
It's
the
way.
11 games into the
100
season.
pound
We will
mark.
see.
We'll
£100
see.
Mark. Would you
How?
bet on it?
We'll see.
you
It's a
bet on it?
cookout.
Would I bet on what?
On Chelsea finishing above Arsenal.
Ooh.
Sure, why not?
£100.
No. That's a cop out.
No. It's
All
your
right,
money,
fair.
not my money.
No, that was
This
a
is your
cop out.
money.
All right, I'm just
Definitely
I'm
a
just
cop
taking the piss.
out.
I'm taking the piss. All right, relax, Mo. All right. Yeah, I'll bet my life savings on Arsenal, but that doesn't mean that it's God given that they're going to win it.
That is true.
Okay, you know what?
It's not God. Given the
This is a
history,
conversation-
they're bottlers.
Okay, there is a conversation that happened yesterday about this. When people are asked straight questions about Arsenal, right, especially in the media, do you think Arsenal are favorites to win the league now? Yeah, but they haven't won anything, so I gotta wait and see. Okay, I'm asking you today in November 28th. It's not about the end of the season. It's not about what happened last season. Do you think anybody can snatch the league from Arsenal? Of course, there is a
Yes.
possibility. But if I'm asking you today, who are
Yeah.
the favorites to win the Premier League? What is your answer?
Arsenal
I'll
are the
have to-
favorites right now.
Thank you, Kelk. It's very simple to answer. By the way, it's a very simple thing. It's either you think or you don't think.
I think that they're
Not
favorites.
that hard.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Relax, Mo. I'm about to explain. Yeah, they are favorites, but it's not God given. Based on everything that I've said, and let's face it. Let's see how they do. As I said in the second half, when the pressure is really on. If Chelsea win on the weekend, yeah, we're only 3 points behind them. That will give Chelsea the confidence to keep on track and to keep up pace with them. And then you never know what's going to happen. Okay, if I have to bet all my savings, I'll bet on Arsenal. But am I really that confident about it? No, I'm not so God certain that every other sports out there, yeah, the league is theirs. This league is theirs. Based on what? Look at the history. They're flop. They're a bunch of
no.
bottomers.
I'm gonna tell you. No. We're gonna stop you here
no.
because we're gonna go to Kelk's statement before. This is a very good conversation, but let me do this super. 20 saying Chelsea fans are what people think Arsenal fans are. They're deluded. They're delulu. Oh no, Chelsea fans are deluded.
Thanks.
I don't know, 20. Thank you, 20, but I'm not sure. We're Barcelona shit too, right, Mark?
Yep.
Okay, fair
Or
enough.
maybe we made them look shit. You know.
I don't know, man. They were like Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham high press.
I know. I do agree with that. That high line was ridiculous.
Yeah, high line, no press.
Yeah, I admit. Yeah.
We are talking about the Premier League bums. Fair enough.
Well, I'm a bum. I'm in my mum's basement.
I agree with Chelsea fans. Arsenal will be relegated.
Wow.
That's an Arsenal fan taking the piss. That's an Arsenal fan taking the piss. I'm actually gonna go
sounds
to
about right, though.
Kelk. I'm gonna tell you guys something about this. Arsenal are labeled flops and they are like, oh my god, they're butlers and all this stuff. This is the first year, and I'm being completely honest, where I'm actually looking at this Arsenal team and I'm so like, this is the strongest team. Last season, they were supposed to be the strongest team, but they got a lot of injuries, and Salah had a magnificent season, blah, 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 and Arteta wasn't fantastic, right? But this is, even last season, by the way, in the beginning of the season, 99% of the people said that City would win the league, by the way, especially after they're getting Gundogan back, right? The season before, Arsenal were not the best team. The season before, Arsenal were not the best team. This is the first year that actually Arsenal, on paper, are the best team.
Let me ask you, Mo, yeah?
Go ahead.
If Declan Rice gets injured for a few months, along with Gabriel's probably outestimated 5-6
Okay.
weeks, yeah?
What are you assuming injuries, but fine.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a scenario. I need you to answer me. Rice gets injured. Gabriel's still injured. Who's your money on? Are you still putting it on Arsenal?
Let me answer this very quickly. Before I answer it, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you basing that Rice injury? Does he have an injury history, for example? Okay, so you're having an assumption. To have an assumption, you got to have something to.
Well, firstly, right? Gabriel last season before that didn't really have an injury history.
Okay, I get you, Gabriel.
Rodri had no injury history.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly.
It's never
I'm giving you a scenario. I like you to tell me.
I'm gonna answer this. Okay, guys. Rodri had a ACL. That is not a muscular injury, or not a recurring injury. That happens once probably in your career. I cannot build my assumption based on Rice getting an ACL. I'll be stupid to build that on. If Rice had a history of injuries, I'll tell you. But I'm gonna play your game.
Well, that's the point he's making.
I'm gonna play your game.
A freak thing could happen to somebody with no injury history,
and a freak thing can happen to Erling Haaland.
But the smart money's not on the freak injury. There's no smart money on a freak injury, is there?
Like this is strange conversation. By the way, Erling Haaland can get an ACL.
Yeah.
Are we gonna sit here and build an argument based on Erling Haaland getting ACL?
A lot of rivals are. All I hear is, "Oh, you're nothing without Haaland."
If Haaland gets an ACL, Man City won't even finish in Champions League spots.
But I'm not. You don't see me sit here and say, Erling Haaland's getting ACL. What you see me say, Erling Haaland, based on the injury history, might miss 5 to 10 games. That is history, right? Like Gabriel, I get you. Gabriel had a hamstring injury last season, and he's having the same hamstring injury this season. So that is fair to assume that. But for example, Timber had an ACL, but he doesn't have an injury record for me to stand on an assumption. For example, Kukurea doesn't have an injury history, right? For example, you can stand on the history of the groin injury for Cole Palmer, but you cannot sit here and tell me, by the way, Caicedo will get injured. He doesn't have a history of injury. But I'm going to build an argument with you, okay? I'm going to build an argument with you. I'm going to play your game. It's a fantastic game, right? Rice gets injured. I think Odegaard, Eze, Zubamendi will do the job against 80%.
Get out of here, Mo. Get out of here, bro. Come on, respectfully, don't say that, mate. You're talking about the best all-action midfielder. Oh, we can just replace him. No. I'm not having that.
Did you ask Mo or you asked Neil?
I'm not having that, Mo.
That is my opinion. I genuinely believe.
Fair. I'm gonna tell you, for me, I just don't agree with that.
Can I tell
Neil, do you agree with that? Neil,
can I tell
2 months? Rice is out for 2 months.
Can I back my argument? I'm gonna back my argument.
Go ahead.
I am the one who on podcasts, on here, Terrace, and other podcasts as well, said one thing. said that I think against 80%, Eze and Odegaard should play together, and there should be one of Zubamendi and Rice in the DM. Because Arsenal are strong enough defensively with their defense structure that you should be allowed to play at Odegaard as a number 8 and an Eze as a number 8 or a 10. They should be allowed to do this against number one, all the bottom half of the teams, home and away. Arsenal actually should be able to do this without any problems, because the defensive structure of that team is strong enough to actually not need to have 2 players that contribute defensively that much, right? A lot of teams do that in the world, by the way. Against bottom teams, they play 2 10s or 2 high 8s or whatever. Same for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez and Palmer and Estevao can play against 80% of the teams because the Cucureas, because Reece James, because of Malo Gusto, they're good enough. Arsenal even stronger than Chelsea in terms of structure. Stronger. So you can afford to have an Eze and Odegaard on the pitch. Man City, by the way, used to play 1 DM, right? And have all our attack. Let's go. And I'm not talking Eze and Odegaard. I'm talking fucking Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, a striker, all our attack. All our action, as you say. All our attack. Why? Because they control the games. Arsenal control enough of the ball and enough of the games that they will be allowed to play Eze and Odegaard ahead of a Rice or a Zubamendi, whoever Mikel Arteta chooses depending on the game. I said that before, Neil. Then I said
it a while ago on our pod, Mark. I did say the same after the City game, because Arteta went too conservative against City. You play Mourinho and Rice in the midfield, and I said the same thing to you. I think I said it on the pod. You could even drop Rice in the 6 and have Eze and Odegaard, and we'll beat 80% of the league. And now it's the same thing, except instead of Rice, you're having Zubamendi at the base. So yeah, can we do it? Yeah, we can. But what if scenario? You can't build arguments and debates on a what if scenario. Like, I don't know if Declan would be a loss for anyone. I think he's the best midfielder in the world. Like, there's no 2 ways about it.
Why did you laugh? Why did you laugh at that? Is there a better midfielder?
No, sorry.
Who is? Who's the best midfielder in the world?
In his position, box to box? Who's a better midfielder?
I'm taking Vitinha or Pedri over Rice for sure, 100%, without a doubt.
This is what I said on our pod.
But Rice offers way more. He offers way more.
At this moment in time, Rice is the one.
He offers way more.
You should watch Pedri and Vitinha going forward.
Yeah,
and tell me that
we have discussed this.
There are things that Pedri and Vitinha do better than Declan Rice, but there are things that Declan Rice does that neither of them do. Full stop.
Yeah, Declan Rice is probably the best, like, in terms of defense, like as a defensive midfielder.
He's the best all-round midfielder in the world.
But going forward, I don't think he will never ever do what Pedri or
he's the best all-round midfielder in the world.
Even Neves, or there's
he is.
He's the best all-round midfielder in the world.
I will say this to you, Mark. Rice versus Caicedo in the 6.
It's going to be big.
Caicedo is better in the 6.
Your boy better show up this time, because he's gone missing in previous years when he comes up against Rice. I think Caicedo is ready now. Let's see what he does. What I will say to you, Mark, you talk about us being bottlers. Mark, when you look at these guys, they don't look like bottlers. Just like John Terry didn't look like a bottler in 2005. Lampard didn't look like a bottler in 2005. They were carrying history. They were carrying weight, 60 years without a title. I'm not saying Declan Rice is Lampard. I'm not saying Gabby is John Terry. But what I am saying is, when you look at Big Gabby, when you look at David Raya, when you look at Saliba, when you look at Rice, do you see boys that are going to crumble? Or do you see men that have been through pain, they've hardened, they're battle hardened now, and they look ready?
I agree with you. Every single game that I've seen this season of Arsenal, I think the one thing is that they are fighting for every single ball and every clearance, every goal, that they are celebrating like it's a title winning game. I will give that to you. They care. They want it.
Just remember how much effort that takes, though, and when you get to the end of the season, you might run out of gas. I don't think that's going to happen. For Chelsea's defensive record.
Guys, I was checking Pedri versus Declan Rice on the side. I wasn't just.
And what did you see? What did you find out? Go on.
I would watch a game and not look at a stat sheet.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the difference. To be honest with you,
hate Barcelona, but if you want to see how good Pedri is, watch Barcelona game.
Pedri is my favorite. Pedri is my favorite midfielder now in the world. Like watching him. But I think what Declan Rice offers on the pitch in terms of the box-to-box contributing to that defensive structure is what makes Arsenal strong. You guys don't understand when you're watching Arsenal Football Club and you're watching Arsenal play, the way they go back into position, it starts with the sprinting and the interceptions and the tackles and everything that Declan Rice does when they get dispossessed or they lose the ball in the front on the front side. I think Pedri does that. Pedri and De Jong are fantastic on the ball. They're great on the ball. And Declan Rice doesn't have even, in my opinion, 50% of the ability on Pedri. But to be as strong as a football team, you need to have both sides. The reason why I think Arsenal are the strongest team in the world now is that, number one, Arsenal score goals. Set pieces are immaculate because of Declan Rice's ability, which is something that not a lot of people talk about. Having the ability to deliver like this is a talent by itself that every team in the world would love to have, like a Declan Rice to deliver corners, because corners and set pieces are a big part of the game. But now Arsenal, when they lose the ball, they're not wide open. We saw Chelsea tear Barcelona apart because every time Barcelona lost the ball, there were spaces because the midfield doesn't exist. I know Pedri didn't play, but with Pedri it's even worse because Pedri is not a defender. I saw him against Inter last season. The guy contributes 10% defensive. 10%. Guy, when Barcelona lose the ball, he tries, he's just not.
You contradicted yourself a little bit.
But I'm going to tell you.
2 minutes ago, you just said Arsenal are so good, and are so strong because of Declan Rice. And I just gave you before a situation where you take out Declan Rice. How do you think? How do you think they're going to?
I'm going to tell you about that. Let me tell you.
You just said Pedri was you love Pedri.
And I'm going to tell you about it
great.
because I genuinely believe that Arsenal need that type against maybe 20% of it. That's why I said against 80%, they will be able to deal with it. They won't even be put in a situation where Declan Rice have to sprint back to recover because there is enough players to recover for him against 80% of the team because Arsenal are stronger. Like City. City, by the way, in the treble season, used to brush teams aside because they're so strong and way stronger than the other teams, right? What is one of the things is Arsenal structurally are very good. And by the way, a player looking very good is part of a team structure. By the way, Vitinha might not look good at Arsenal. Might not.
No, I don't think it would.
Part of
they play differently.
Vitinha,
like Barcelona,
part of Vitinha looking phenomenal.
Declan Rice is excelling in Arsenal structure, just like Pedri is excelling in Barcelona structure. Like,
by the way, Erling Haaland in another team might not be as good as Erling Haaland under Pep Guardiola because Pep Guardiola is the master of getting the best out. Pep Guardiola gets 120% out of you. Bernardo, everyone, right?
Not lately.
Yeah, but normally he did this for Barcelona. He did this for every single team. He got Ribery and Robin to a level like Bayern Munich were ridiculous at that time, by the way. But for me, if I look at Declan Rice, people say it's the system, but the system is part of your football.
Yeah, he excels in that system.
Exactly. That's why.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
People, and I think Declan Rice will play in a lot of teams and he will be good. He will be okay.
We'll see, I can see him struggling in a team like Barcelona, in a team like PSG, and maybe in a Pep team because he's just not quite as good on the ball as the players who excel in those systems are. But he's playing in a system where he's excelling, so there's no
You
debate.
play Pedri and Rice. You play them both.
Yeah, you play Pedri over Odegaard for sure.
You play Pedri and Rice but Rice walks into any team in the world. I will stand by it. Rice walks into any team in the world.
100% agree with that.
There's not a single team he doesn't walk into. Real Madrid, he walks into.
Yeah.
He walks into Barca.
Who are you benching
He
at Real
actually
Madrid
goes
for
into.
him?
He also goes into PSG. It's not
Who's
who
he
you drop.
benching in that PSG midfield?
He's in. Take your pick. He's in. There's no way.
You think he's benching Vitinha? Or Yao Neves? I don't think so.
How would you not have Rice in that midfield? How does Rice not?
The
guy's got the biggest engine.
What Enrique wants on the ball. That's why he got rid of Donnarumma. He can't do what he wants on the ball. Like,
but who's got the biggest engine as a midfielder?
Want players who excel on the ball, like are elite, like world class on the ball.
You're making out like Declan.
Does Rice walk into the City team?
Declan's not shit on the ball.
The current
but he's also got the biggest
right
engine.
now. But if Rodri's healthy, no. He's not better than Rodri.
Mo, do you think that Declan Rice walks into any team in club football?
No.
Declan Rice.
Which team doesn't he?
No, which team?
PSG. The way, okay, it's very simple. The way PSG plays, it wouldn't require a Declan Rice, especially in Ligue 1. It wouldn't require Declan Rice to be there.
That's the point I'm making.
You see, Neil, like
Does he
sometimes
improve them in the
it doesn't
Champions League?
require.
Forget Liga.
No,
They
Does
just
he
won the
improve
Champions
them?
League, so no.
Does he
I-
improve them in the Champions League?
They
Fabian
beat him
Ruiz.
to win the
Okay,
Champions League.
the way
so no.
the way Enrique plays, it requires 3 very technical midfielders on the ball, and I mean
This
technical.
is
It's the
where
way
I think it's
okay,
harsh on Rice.
Your
'cause
argument, okay, but your argument, Neil.
he's technically better than a lot
Okay,
of people
hold
give
on.
him credit
Your
for.
argument, Neil, is that people will change. If your argument is Luis Enrique would change the system to suit a Declan Rice because of the engine, I will agree with you. I wouldn't tell you. But the way I'm watching PSG today in that midfield, he wouldn't. He wouldn't displace any of them because they're both, all of them don't rely on defensive attributes. All of them rely on the technical ability of receiving the ball and the quick dribbling. By the way, all of them dribble one-on-one. All of them, by the way, they dribble.
This is
Declan
all.
Rice
This is
carry the
Elite
ball.
first touches.
This is all
elite
hypothetical,
Passing,
so
short passes, long passes.
No, it's not.
If he
Yours is
plays,
hypothetical.
plays.
Yours,
No, as in
okay,
he's not going to
yours-
play for PSG tomorrow, right? But if he goes to this, Enrique is not going to make any changes. You're saying, but that would be to state that PSG, the finished article, yes, they won the Champions League last season. Can they get better this season if Enrique was to make a tweak to accommodate a Declan Rice?
So
That's the
you are
question.
assuming that PSG need to make a tweak to fit Declan Rice for them to actually be better. That's what you're
They
assuming,
might not
right?
need to. They might not need to. Maybe they've got the
100%.
answer.
They
Maybe
have
they've got
to,
the answer
They would
already.
have to change the whole way they play.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they can keep PSG the way they want. Maybe they have got the best team in the world. We don't know. The question is, do they improve if they make a slight tweak to accommodate Declan Rice this season? Because PSG would have to win the treble again this season. Otherwise,
They could.
they're not as good as last season by default. They won the treble last season.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
There's a lot
wouldn't
of
rule it out
teams
for
that
them. They
you
have
don't
nothing
have to.
worry
You
about
don't
in
have to win the
France.
triple again the season after to be as good as the season before, and that's number of trophies. But there are teams that might not win, but they just complete because it's very hard to win the Champions League
Ooh,
back
that's
to
a
back.
good
Real
point in the
Madrid,
chat. Someone says Declan Rice would be a center back at PSG. I actually agree with that.
no, he wouldn't.
Yeah, he would. He definitely
Who's
benches Marquinhos, who's washed up.
I don't
I
think we're
he
going to
is a
see
center back.
PSG.
I just don't think he's good
win.
enough going forward.
I don't think
I
we're going to
just- I
see
just don't,
PSG do what
I
they
think
do
he's elite
in the
defensively.
Champions League this season.
I don't think so. I think
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
we'll
tell
see
you
it.
guys. You
Because they're-
guys
you-
PSG
honestly,
are
gotta
one of the
adapt.
favorites, though.
You have to
it's a
adapt.
tournament.
You
You
guys-
never know
they're
what's
one
going to
of the
happen in
you
the
want to
tournament.
honestly? I actually think if you're asking me now who's going to win the Champions League, Arsenal. I'm going to win the Champions League.
I think it's a
I don't see-
tournament. You never know what's
You know,
going to happen.
yes. Okay. Yes, that's the answer.
How many
I
years
am-
have City been the
I
favorite?
analyze
They've only
football
won it
based on what I
once.
see today. I genuinely don't think there is any team today that wants to play Arsenal in the world. By the way. Barcelona, if they play Arsenal, get ripped apart. We know that, right? The high lines, Hansi Flick shit, and all this.
What
stuff.
happens, in the knockout stages? They play Bayern Munich home and away.
Even Vincent Company
It
said that
happened.
this team look different than the team that played. Joshua Kimmich and everyone said that they look different than the team they played 2 years ago. This team is way more mature. This team is way more better. Timba is amazing. Calafiori is playing very well. Declan Rice even have gotten better over the years. Like I think Bukayo
think
Saka has
never.
matured. Like guys, this is why it's so hard for people to accept that this is just a better Arsenal team than last year and the year before. It's just
I
better.
just think you can't
It is.
predict a
It's a
tournament.
50-50
Wonky
versus
things
Munich.
happen. Real Madrid
me,
are
over
always
2
going to
legs.
tap into the dark arts.
I
Remember,
agree.
we kicked their ass in the treble season in the Champions League. The next season they beat us. That can happen. Like you can never
Exactly
count the
this.
dark
I
magic
think-
out.
I
You
think-
can't.
I just don't know how I know that the bottle job and all the stuff that people talk about. Guys, honestly speaking, this Arsenal team is one of the strongest teams I've seen for Arsenal for years. And I think currently in the world, I think this Arsenal team is the most structured team. I think that's why when I say Arteta as a coach now, I think he's up there. The way he coaches the team is up there.
He
I
hasn't
know
won
that
anything, Mo.
I
Okay,
would
see-
call
see,
Arsenal
up
to win
there.
the
He
hasn't
Premier
won
League over the
anything.
Champions
And I'm gonna
League.
ta-
You
We
can't-
should
I'm
we
gonna
should
give
not
you-
have
he's
a
a quality
conversation until
manager.
May then.
He
I'm
is
gonna-
a
I'm gonna
quality
tell you.
manager.
I'm gonna-
But he hasn't
I'm
won
gonna tell
anything.
you.
You can't put him up
Great.
there. That's
I'm gonna give you.
ridiculous.
I'm
No.
gonna give. Okay, it's not about winning. Don't do the Jimmy O'Hara thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Oi, don't ever. Oi, that's disrespectful, Mo. No.
why? Jimmy O'Hara is a-
you can't do
is a
that.
good pundit.
Jamie O'Hara's a way better pundit than Mark. No, don't
Ah.
disrespect O'Hara that way.
Okay, let me be serious. Genuinely, if you're asking me about a manager, Maurizio Sarri, when he joined Chelsea Chelsea saw him as one of the best coaches out there because he was coaching that Napoli team amazing. If you're talking about a coach, you can be one of the best coaches, right? But you haven't won anything. That's why you're the upcoming manager or this and that. There are people that you look at them and you think, yeah, this manager, I think, is one of the best. The winning thing is a man management, and we're going to see this season, right? But you aren't going to tell me today, if you're looking at the coaches around in the world, coaches, coaching a team, putting the team on the pitch, being structured, tell me who's a better coach right now that you would think that will go toe-to-toe with Arteta and is better. I'm going to give you about that one last thing before I let you, Mark, respond. Vincent Kompany already won the Bundesliga. So he won things, right? Do you think Vincent Kompany is better than Mikel Arteta as a coach?
Yes.
Oh, bro. Oh,
No, this is
I think it's
I'm done here with
There's
no way.
There's
no way.
See, that's the conversation. That's the conversation.
I want you to say that on our pod. I want you to say that on our pod. I want you to say that on our pod. I'm going to take you to task, man.
Okay, hold on.
I love it.
So I'm going to ask you another question. Do you think, in your head, do you think in today, I'm not saying in the future, I'm not saying trajectory, I'm not saying what you're going to see later. Do you think today, if I'm asking you, I want you to remove your hat as a Chelsea fan, and there is a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or an Inter or anybody is tomorrow looking for a coach, and you're the advisor, you're getting paid, right? You're the advisor. Would you advise them to take Enzo Maresca today as a coach or Mikel Arteta? Coach. Is he frozen?
Am I frozen? Yeah.
Mikel Arteta.
I think the question froze him.
Here's an interesting
Enzo
one.
Maresca, but Enzo Maresca has won the Champions League.
But who would I have? I'd have Pep Guardiola. I'd have Carlo Ancelotti. I would have both of those ahead of
Slot. The fact that you're saying both of them in the same sentence says a lot about Arteta.
I'm not going to say, yes, thank you, Neil. Oh, that's a brilliant line. You saying these names, it says a lot about Mikel Arteta. Pep, Klopp, Ancelotti. See the names you're talking about? You aren't talking about a Maresca, Vincent Kompany, and Inzaghi. With Xabi Alonso, good coach. We're fucking watching.
I would have him instead. I would have him instead of Mikel Arteta. I'd have Vincent Kompany instead of Mikel Arteta.
The Vincent Kompany one's mental. He got relegated with Burnley, bro. How can you have Vincent Kompany in the Farmers League? Anyone,
you know what though? If you put Mikel Arteta, in as the manager of Burnley,
he wouldn't have gone relegated because he wouldn't have been. Oh yeah, he wouldn't have been stupid and play the high line and play from the back and make mistakes every game. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this.
Same way the attacking football that he played in the Championship and just played wide open in the Premier League. You know Arteta wouldn't do it. Even you say Arteta's safety first. There's no way he's doing that. Kompany.
Let's respond.
It depends on what kind of team you want, what kind of structure you want. Do you want a if you want a defensive manager, you're probably going to pick Arteta. But if you want to play more with the ball,
is not
a defensive
Maresca,
Fabregas, those kind of managers. Xabi Alonso. Just depends on what kind of team you have and what your goals are as a club.
He's definitely a defensive coach, Mo. They have the best defense in football.
And that wins games too. Some teams are going to want that, but other teams, like Barcelona is never going to take Arteta as their manager because he doesn't fit their whole system. Like their academy plays one way. He's never going to I don't think he would ever fit in that. Like that's why they have Enrique right now, or not Enrique, Hansi, whatever his name is, Hansi Flick. Yeah. Because he fit that, that's how Barcelona want to play. They're not going to hire a defensive manager. But there are teams that do
Arteta's
like it. I think Arteta going to a team like Inter who do play a lot of who have more of a defensive structure.
Look, guys, we can't call Arteta a defensive manager, by the way. 2 seasons ago, without this squad, with Kai Havertz up top, he outscored Liverpool, did more goals than Liverpool scored last season. Scored over 90 goals. We can't just throw this narrative
out there. This is the defensive
coach.
manager. This is the defensive manager they're talking about. That's the defensive manager. Yes, the guy that plays defensive football has the highest defensive line in the Premier League and plays against the lowest defensive lines in the Premier League. Yes, he's a defensive manager. The guy is a defensive manager that plays a high line. Yes.
He's
what are we talking about, guys? What are we talking about?
Arteta as a free-flowing manager, like you had an Enrique.
Free-flowing is different than defensive manager.
Those kind of managers.
You can say in control.
You can say in control. That is different than defensive coach. That is just different. That is just different. Let me do this super chat. So let me just. These Chelsea fans are becoming more deluded. We'll see if, bro, if they win against Arsenal, you'll never hear the end of it.
That's
we
true.
win the league.
No, they won the Champions League on Tuesday. They're going to win the Premier League on Sunday.
She said it. Boom. Well done. Thank you, girl.
You have to win on Sunday though. You, as in,
Yeah,
you
we
actually have to win.
We have to win.
We don't have to
I
win.
agree with that.
You do have to win because as in not have to win, but you can't afford to lose. You can't afford to lose. We can afford to lose, but you cannot afford to lose. You lose, you're done.
Well, you can't say you can't afford to lose, Geezer.
You'll be
If you
9
lose,
points
you're only
off.
3 points. You're only 3
You'll be
points
9
ahead.
points. Yeah, well, exactly. But we'll be top. But I'm saying we can afford it more than you, right? We'll still be top.
Yeah, more than us. That's right. But you
you'll
still
be
need
9
to win.
points. If
Or
you
only
lose,
3 points.
but that's what I'm saying. We can afford to lose because we'll still be top. And look, it would make for a more exciting race. I do think this though, guys. If we do beat Chelsea, and I'm not saying we will, because it's going to be a tough game. If we beat Chelsea, what a week. North London derby, Bayern Munich, Chelsea. I tell you what, we will be beating teams in the tunnel. Mark my words, teams will go in the tunnel and over 50% of them will be beaten
Jose Mourinho,
off the back of this.
I agree. This is going to be a City. I'm going to tell you, Kelk, if they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, this will be the likes of the treble winning season of City, which is teams are 1-0 down in the tunnel. They're already 1-0 down. They're chasing. They're in the tunnel. You remember that fucking triple team? It was ridiculous. That second half of the season for City, they were already 1-0 up in
the first
the
half
tunnel.
was shit.
Yeah, but the second half, every team that came against City already beat. They're already shaking. If Arsenal beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge after beating a Bayern Munich like this, in this manner, I think people will be scared of Arsenal. And people I know that people don't want to say that, but people have to be honest about when you look at this Arsenal team, they're so resilient, it's ridiculous. If Chelsea win though, people will start looking at Chelsea about, okay, this team, you need to be worried about them. You need to actually be careful about your rearview mirror, because if Fofana's fit and Chelsea play the same brand of football every game, I think Chelsea might be a threat. Are they going to win the league? I don't know. Let me do the super chats because I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Vitinha in the EPL, look at Verts now. Yeah, the physicality.
Vitinha was in the Premier League at Wolves. I don't remember much, but he's gotten better since then.
Yeah, of course. Like Salah was in the Premier League, didn't work out. Went to Italy and came back, and he was fantastic.
He's 24, 25.
Steven,
like he's learned
big
a
up,
lot.
Stephen Habibi. Thank you, Habibi. Thank you so much. Thank God Mo knows his football and talks sense. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Stephen. Declan Rice became Superman with that armband. Yeah, that armband was ridiculous. Rice struggling in Pep team. Pep wanted him.
Why didn't he come to City then?
By the way, when Pep wanted him,
he was going to be on the bench.
I'm going to tell you guys, no. Declan Rice was going to go to be the number 8, the box-to-box midfielder. He was going to play his free-flowing football going forward. And also remember, Kelk, Rodri at the end of the treble season was the guy that was going forward scoring goals. He had like 8 goals and like 7 assists or something like this.
No,
he started to be more fun.
Season after.
But Rice was always going to stay in London. He even bought his house. It's all going to stay in London. No one wants to live in a shithole like Manchester. He was going to stay in London. That's why he didn't go to Man City.
Sure. Look at Eddie now.
He would have won the Premier League that season.
He would have. I'm going to say something. If Rice went to Man City and Man City won trophies, Rice would have been on a higher pedestal than now. Look at Eddie now because of Rice, basically. I think it's because of also the confidence of Mikel Arteta, AMT, to be honest. Mikel Arteta allowed Eze to express himself. Genuinely, he allowed him to express himself. Did you see PSG against Spurs? Wide open. Wide open in that midfield. Completely wide open. Yes, I watched the extended highlights, about 20 minutes. Wide open PSG. But he hasn't won anything. Yeah, this is why, to be honest with you, I hope that Arteta wins something this season so the conversation can stop. I actually like Arteta as a coach. I don't like him as a when he talks. He's just annoying.
What's your opinion, Mo? Yeah, if he doesn't win,
he has to get sacked.
There you go. There you
and
go.
try somewhere else. And maybe try in an easier league. In my opinion, sometimes you need to go to an easier league to start your.
So that means at the end of the season, if he doesn't win anything, you'll take all your words back. Is that right?
I wouldn't. I still think that
You
doesn't
just told him
change
he needs to go to an easier league.
Okay, hold on. That doesn't change the football I'm watching now, that he's a good coach. Maurizio Sarri playing good with Napoli and losing the league to Juventus. It didn't change that when I'm watching Napoli, they looked good on the pitch, that he's a good coach. Does that make sense?
After all that talk,
I didn't change my opinion.
You think he should get sacked and move to a lower league team or to a lower
Not
league?
a lower league team, like go to like
a
La
lower
Liga
league, yeah.
or go to
lower,
Serie A. An easier league. That's what I said.
An easier league. Okay.
Would Arteta's second season 8th keep Burnley up?
It's a good question.
That's a very fair question, to be honest, Mina. It's a very, very fair question. But listen, before we end, guys, I want you guys to tell you guys something. Frenemies podcast, these guys, Neil and Mark, doing fantastic work. They're shorts, podcasts, everywhere. So go and support them. Their channel is in the description. So go and support the Frenemies podcast. You see the heat. You see how the conversations are going. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you want to hear more of these conversations, go to their channel, The Football Story as well. And True City Fan with Kelk, of course. We're going to now go to MHF. That is going to be an absolutely fantastic show. Go there. It's Martin, Jaco, Ash, and Sal as well. I'm going to see you guys on MHF now. They're live. We're live there. And thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys. And we're out of here, people.